Good morning, everyone. I'm in Brockwell Park. It's a sunny Saturday morning, and yeah, I guess it's been 2 weeks since I checked in. So the exam went well that I was studying for. I got the poster presentation done. We did our group work stuff. There's still more to come, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We're almost to full-time dissertation time, and the end is in sight. The last weekend, on Friday, last Friday, I went to this job fair that was happening in a different part of London that I'd never been to. So I want to say it's White City is where it was. This place, basically it looks like London just wanted North America to be in London. You know how cities have a little China, Chinatown, Little Italy, all that kind of stuff? This is kind of like little North America, but also big because it's North America. So there's this huge mall, and it was very picturesque in a lot of ways. The architecture was pretty beautiful, but it was a mall, so it was just a monument to capitalism. So that was a bit boring, but there was some interesting elements to it, some high-end designer brands that I'd never seen an outlet for before, so that was kind of interesting. So the job fair was in the mall, and once I had kind of done my circulation, which it was a bit weird, there was a large amount of police recruitment going on, and then a lot of educational services where they're people are going to this to try to make money, and then there's booths of education institutions trying to make money off of you, and it's just why what why is that there? I get the idea that you want to be more employable, but also you're not looking, if you're looking for a job, you're looking for a job. If you think that you need to be more employable, you'll look for those educational resources. So it was just weird that it was so much stuff that was irrelevant. But I did find some booths that were more in the sort of social services, mental health kind of arenas. So I did sort of sign up with some people to get some updates on jobs, and it wasn't a total waste. It was interesting going. I got to explore a new part of the city that I realized I don't really want to have anything to do with. Because after I got out of the mall, I saw that there was a cat cafe, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. And I thought maybe I'll go in and have a juice or a tea or something, and just enjoy the ambient atmosphere of cats like you would have in Montreal in a cat cafe, where yeah, the drinks might be 50 cents more expensive, but there's cats around. This you had a little cafe area where you could get your tea, coffee, whatever, but there were no cats. You had to pay £16 and have a reservation in order to go to the area with cats. And I just thought that is just a whole other level of exploitation, and I was not really cool with that. So I left, and then I wandered around for a little while, got tired wandering in it's that whole area is kind of if London was in North America, so it's not pedestrian friendly. It took me ages to walk around a block because they're massive blocks, because they're made for cars, not people. So that experience was just generally frustrating, and I never want to go back there. But I did pass BBC headquarters. I thought that was kind of cool. Or a studio. I don't know if it's their headquarters, but one of their studios. That was kind of cool to see. And then I wandered around for a little longer. I looked on my map, and it said that I was about half an hour walk from Notting Hill, and I thought, yeah, that could be fun. So I went to Notting Hill, and I just caught the tail end of their sort of markets being out and about, which was really cool. I like the vibe there. I could see myself living in Notting Hill, or, oh, sorry, my bag is falling off this tree. I'm just gonna move it to the ground and readjust. Yeah, I could see myself living in Notting Hill. I think having grown up with the movie Notting Hill being a thing that I watched as like an impressionable young kid, I definitely romanticized Notting Hill, and I'm happy to see that, you know, all these years later, it's still a place that I like. So that was really cool, and I hung out there for a little while, and then went home. And this week has just been like solidly working on stuff, you know, studying for the exam and working on group project and applying to jobs. Like on Wednesday, so Wednesday was my exam. It was at like 10 a.m. and I got extra time because I got approved for disability status. I don't know if I mentioned that on this. I'd done like an assessment and sent that in to the Students for Learning Disability group, whatever organization, I forget what they're called. The acronym is SORA. And they initially, when I sent it in, they were like, you should get your eyes tested and then we'll look at the assessment. And I just didn't. Other things were more important, and I just didn't. And I just kind of got into that self-defeating mode of like, you know, why do I even try? Like, what's the point? Whatever. And like, just got to knuckle down and just do the hard thing, do the work. And months later, like a few weeks ago, I got an email saying that I was approved, that they looked at my assessment and I met the criteria, so they're going to let me have the extra time and stuff that I need, which was really awesome. And I had never had that kind of that sort of benefit before. I'd never been diagnosed with a learning disorder, and it's not really like an official diagnosis because the assessment wasn't in person, it was just a form that I filled out, but it still was like a little bit of validation. Sorry, there's a plane overhead, so I don't know if that's visible. Yeah, so it was just like a really nice bit of validation that, yeah, stuff is actually harder for me than neurotypicals, and I wasn't just making it up. So that was nice. And having the extra time was also amazing because the exams that I've done so far have been like really, really hard to like do it in the time that is required. Like, I don't ever remember having that much difficulty with finishing exams in the right time as I'm having like in this time around with school. And maybe it's age, or maybe standards have changed, but I do not read that fast. And so having that extra time allowed me to like read at my own pace, and I did not have extra like reading at my own pace. I used up the entire amount of time, so I actually like really needed it, and I'm so relieved that I was able to do the exam that way. So that I'm really grateful for that. And so I did my exam, and then I met up with my group for a group project that we have to present. So we looked at the Mediterranean diet versus the vegan diet in the treatment of metabolic syndrome. And there's not a whole lot of research that is directly comparing the two diets, but there is some. And so we looked over some of the research that is comparing those two diets with respect to the criteria of metabolic syndrome, or at least some of the criteria. So yeah, we worked on that for like the rest of the day. So by the time it was like dinner time, I was absolutely exhausted. I knew I was going to have to do more work on the group presentation the following morning because it was due at 3 p.m. And I checked on one of my like WhatsApp groups, and there was a message from someone who posted about a job opportunity. And I looked at the job opportunity and I was like, oh my God, it's the right amount of hours. It's like a good amount of pay. And it's something that I'm like pretty qualified for. Like, it's right in my line of work. but it's also new enough, it's different enough that it's like an advancement, it's growth. And I was just really excited about this. I was like, yeah, I'll apply for this later. And then I thought maybe I should check when the closing date is. And it was like midnight that day. So I did not immediately go home and have dinner. I stayed on campus. I spent a couple of hours working on my application. And then I submitted it and went to Queer Pack, which I've been going to when I have time. Not every week, but it happens every week. And I had a friend that I was going to meet there, and I wanted to like talk about plans we had this weekend and like firm those up. So I went from campus, like grabbed a sandwich at Tesco, and then like went to Queer Pack for the last like hour that people were still there, and then went home. Didn't get to bed until after midnight, and then had to like wake up bright and early the next morning to work on the group presentation, which we got done with half an hour to spare. and then I had to like move on from that and start working on the article that I was writing that's due on Sunday that I finished. There might be some edits, but I basically finished it. So cute. Yeah, so it's just been a really busy week. I have not really had any downtime this week. So other than, the occasional walk that I go on to like make sure that I'm moving my body and releasing that cortisol and metabolizing all of those things. Because exercise is really good for you, and it's good for de-stressing. And if you're too stressed, you're not going to work very well. So it's a key tool. Anyways, so I'm really excited. Right now, it's a beautiful sunny Saturday in Brockwell Park. Love it. And I'm just going to enjoy this for a little while longer, do some yoga, and then later on, I'm meeting up with my friend Sorsha, and we're going to go to Heaven, which is a LGBTQ nightclub in London that may not be able to afford to continue to exist for much longer, but it's a place that I have yet to go to, and it's like massive and legendary and looks really cool. So I'm excited to go. We're gonna go together tonight, and that's my sort of like gift to myself for having done a really hard week. Next weekend I have an exam that's remote, and I can do it over the course of the entire weekend. So it starts Friday, ends Monday, and I can kind of do it as I have the time to do it over the course of the weekend. So I may or may not check in next week. We'll see. I might be busy doing an exam. So I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying the spring, and I'll check in with you later. Bye.